Well, hello everyone. This is Robin Carter with Robin's Creations. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas. And today I am here to share with you my first alternative using the Time for Cake Paper Pumpkin Kit for August of 2024. If you missed the unboxing of this kit, it is in my YouTube channel, the one right before this one. So you can just click on my channel name and then videos, and it'll be the one right below this one. So be sure and check that one out. So I hope everyone is having a great summer. I've had a very busy week, so it's taken me a little while to get back with you with my first alternative. But anyway, I want to share some Stampin' Up! News with you before we get started. Don't forget to spend your bonus days, dollar days, coupons that you may have earned during July. So those will expire in just a few more days, another week, on August 31st. So if you earn those, don't let those go to waste. You should have received a coupon code in your email, and hopefully you took me up on my tip to take a screenshot of those codes so you didn't lose them. And also going on now is the Designer Series paper sale. Select Designer Series paper is an additional 15% off. So that would be a good thing to use your coupons on if you still have those. And it's also a great time to grab up those beautiful Designer Series papers while they're on 15% discount. And one more bit of news. If you are unaware, Stampin' Up! Has, I don't know, received some close to my heart products. And in the past, those were just available to close to my heart people that have transferred over. But starting sometime this week, they are now available to everyone in the US, Canada, South Pacific, something like that. So check those out on the online store. Just click on shop, and I think there's a tab for close to my heart products. All right, let's switch to hands down so I can share my next bit of news. So this is the kit that we're going to be working on our alternatives, but I always want to remind you about the subscription period for the next paper pumpkin. So going on now is the subscription period for the September 2024 paper pumpkin kit called Autumn Abundance. Now we have had 100 temperature days here in Texas this week, so the sound of autumn sounds wonderful to me. This is a little preview of it. And then I think still available are the online exclusive dies for the past 3 months. So you don't want to miss those. The item number is 164991. And by the way, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber of mine, you will receive some sleeves to store your stamp sets in. If you follow me, you know I like to try to bring in past Paper Pumpkin stamps when I can to use in alternatives. So that's one thing I love about Paper Pumpkin. It's such a great value because you get a stamp set that you can use over and over again. And for August, you know, we received 2 stamp sets. So this great set of numbers and some fun happy birthday sentiments. So those will go out the following month, so early September, after I'm able to get any products as thank you gifts to me when you place orders using this host code of $65 or more. So this August host code is still available through the 31st. So if you do not have a demonstrator or you find some products in this video you'd like to purchase, I would appreciate you use this August host code. Okay, so today we're going to be using this fun little candle birthday expansion. And this was meant to be as a card front. I know I was a little confused in my unboxing going, where is the third card? But this was meant to be a card front, and then this would fold and be on that. But I didn't fold mine anymore because I wanted to, wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I am going to start by cutting this apart. So let's get out our trimmer, and we're going to make a card with each section of this candle piece. So I'm just going to cut right along the score lines, and since this isn't an envelope, it should be pretty good to cut. I did go ahead and put in a new trimmer blade, just so, let me get this in more camera for you, just so it'd be nice and sharp. All right, so let's cut there. All right, let's cut here. I think I missed one. So since I haven't cut them, let's find the score. It's hard to see the score line and not be right over it. So I'm putting that score line pretty much right in the track. Okay, and then we're going to score on this where they've already folded it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and these are the same exact. So just keep that in mind. Then we're going to have this bigger panel here. And we're left with these two pieces. I think I didn't quite get that close enough. Let me just trim that to get the blue off. Okay, now this one we're not going to have time to use today, so it'll be in probably my next set of alternatives, so don't lose it. And if you're like me, I have these little plastic envelopes that I find are a great way to organize my supplies. Now this one, I'm all out of my layers envelopes, but I'm just going to use it for now because it's here on my desk and I've used all the other ones on my desk. So just store all these in here and we'll get to them as we will. And then I'm going to use this panel. I shouldn't have put my trimmer up yet because we need to trim it as well. So what I did is I just take, okay, this is 5.5. I divide that by 3 and it comes up to about 1 7/8. So I'm going to do my first cut at 1 7/8. And a reminder for your trimmer, if you're going to trim with your paper up at the top, you want to push. Always, I'm going to trim this one down. You want to always be pulling to where it's a solid piece. That way your pretty papers don't get crooked. And then I'm just going to split this one in half. I think we'll just do another 1 7/8. And we're left with about 1.75. So you can get 2 at 1 7/8 and 1 at 1.75 to use with our cards. Okay, if I didn't mention, these envelopes are part of what I call my favorite things. These are the 5x7 and these are the larger ones. I didn't have it out. That I like to store all my paper pumpkin goodies in. You can see I still have a long ways to go to use it all, but we will get there. So let me go ahead and store the directions in here as well. I am an Amazon affiliate, so there are links in the video description of this video of where you can find all these things that I call my favorite things. As an Amazon affiliate, I receive a few pennies back at no cost to you when you purchase these using those links. So thank you to those that have used those, and if you plan to use those in the future, thank you so much. All right, so let's start with our first alternative. I'm going to start with, let me get these back out so I didn't lose them. Let's start with the big panel. Right here. So we need this. You know, I always bring in a white, thick white card base. So we're going to need that. And then this time I'm going to use another embossing folder. You guys know I love embossing folders. And there it is. I'm going to use this dotted circle 3D embossing folder. And as usual, last time I checked, this embossing folder is currently unavailable. Every time I use a product, it becomes unavailable, but it's kind of funny how that happens. However, I wanted to also point out that this is one of the basics 3D embossing folders that sadly are now retired, but you may have that in your stash. And that would be a good alternative to use instead of this dotted circle 3D embossing folder. And look at the size of that. Does that show well? I mean, it's like 8.5 by 6. Okay, so quite a bit larger. And one thing I like about it is you can either center this up or do it in different spots, however you would like your circles. So far, I tend to center it up. Okay, and you can see I do have just a smaller piece here that we're going to use later. And so we'll just set that aside. Okay, another thing we're going to need is I decided to mat this in a Moody Mauve layer. So just measure your piece, and I made it 1/8 of an inch bigger, which is about 3 5/8 by 3.75. Now all these measurements will be in maybe 3 7/8. All these measurements will be in my PDF that goes out to my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So you don't have to write all that down to my subscribers. Okay, and then let me make sure I do it right. Oh, we are going to use that. That's why it was in the envelope. And then we're going to take one of these blue pieces. It doesn't really matter which one of the card front pieces. And we're going to adhere that here. Now I do need to trim that to 4 1/8. I should have done that ahead of time. Let me go ahead and do all 3 pieces to 4 1/8. That way, hopefully I won't have to get my trimmer out as much. Would have been easier if I would have trimmed that first and then done the side cuts. Okay, so now all of these are 4 1/8. Okay, so let's, I'm not gonna, well, I am gonna adhere this one down. Okay, and we're gonna have a little bit of a gap, and that's okay because I'm gonna bring in some ribbon. Now, sadly, this ribbon retired. It's Moody Mauve ribbon. Maybe you have this in your stash, but if not, you could always use a, this is about 3/8 of an inch of ribbon of cardstock if you don't have the ribbon. So actually, let me go ahead and put that on this piece because this is so bumpy. I want to do it on a flat piece. So when I do this, I want just a little bit to hang off like that so that it covers any gap I might have. Now, I've used this in the past and I'm going to use it again. Get out my silicone mat so in case I get the, oh, that's got glue all over it. The fuzzies. If I get any glue off the table there. Then I'm going to put some on the back. Hopefully it didn't pick up any glue on my silicone mat. I need to clean that when this video is over. Okay, so I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to put it right along that top. Whoops. Press down a little bit. My cardstock is sticking. Okay, and I can see that's pretty even. So I'm good with that. And I'm just going to fold these corners back like that. Now, you could use a full piece of this. I just decided to use a partial piece because it is so bumpy. On my original one, I did not. So let's adhere these pieces down. Now I have my Tombow multi-purpose glue in this fine tip glue bottle. That's a part of my favorite things. All right, and then let's feel our card base. Make sure I have it with the, good. So when you make your own card bases, I know I'm repetitive a lot, but I have to always remind any new people. One side may hang over just a hair more, and I can feel that, and that's how I want, makes it easier for them to open the card one, but that's how I want to make that the front. And now let's adhere this down. Okay, I try to just do equal border around the sides and the top. And there we go. Now I have a little adhesive still showing. I should have been done it off the edge of it. So I'm going to use my gum eraser here to get that off. This is also one of my favorite things. It saves many a card, but you don't want to scoot it. Okay, probably best to do that when that's good and dry, but that got it. Okay, so then we want our big piece here. And I'm going to adhere this to that Moody Mauve layer. Make sure I have it going the right direction. Has everyone received their kit? I know I'm later than I usually am getting my first alternatives out, but never fear, I will get it all done. I've also been working this week. I had some house stuff to get done in my house. Some painters were here, and so while they were here, I've been working on my cut files. So if you're new to my channel, I do have an Etsy shop, and I like to get out, I've been putting out cut files for additional things, and stay tuned till the end and I'll show you all I've been working on. You'll see some of them in this video, and I hope to get those out by this weekend on my shop. I just like to always test them and make sure it works. So I put out a SVG file for all you Cricut fans, and then I also put out I'm going to be generous on this one to support the center. I do have my Scan and Cut, which is my favorite machine to use, but I realize a lot of you have Cricuts, and I did find a way to make the SVGs. It just takes me a little more time, but I'm happy to bring those to you for use. Okay, so let's just center this on here like that. Okay, and then let me make sure I'm still doing good. Wherever my original went. I'm going to bring in one of the flag pieces. Now this is one I've actually cut with my Scan and Cut to have additional banners. There are some in your kit. I'm just going to use one that I've made so far, and plus it was pink and this was Moody Mauve. So on this one I'm going to use one I made. You could trace that negative of the die and make more yourself, or like I said, on my Etsy shop will be cut files that'll include this cute little banner that works perfectly with the happy birthday stamp in this kit. So I've already stamped that for this video, and I like to find the center-ish. Am I still going to be, see if I can do this upside down. Okay, so I know that 7 right there is about the center, and I can just kind of put that there. Let's see how I do upside down. Okay, that's pretty good. So you can bling this up if you want to, like put a bling on each candle. That would dress it up. But here's the one I did ahead of time working it up, and this is my first alternative. So cute, lots of cards with these candles. I do like the pull-out, but I like to get the most bang for my buck and make more cards for you in case that's what you want to do. So we set this aside, and we'll start on our next pieces. Okay, again, I need a thick white card base. I've got all kinds of goodies over here. Now, like I said, this one makes 2. We're going to be using the next 2 pieces that are the same size. So I've made one already, and I have my second one from my first cut. So I'm just going to finish using it. And I still have additional layer from my last one for this card. Otherwise, I would be pulling out of there. So this one shows you the basics 3D, if that's what you have. And this is the dotted circles. I do have a partial piece this time as well. If we want to do that again, let's try that again and maybe I'll do better. All right, we can go ahead and glue this one down. I also like to make sure these are about the same size, which they are. I guess I didn't say what size this was. Maybe I have one more. This one is 3 3/8 by 4 1/8 inch. I always like to do 1/8 of an inch, just because it shows it's like another layer with your card base. All right, and this one, I'm going to use some ribbon. Now, this ribbon is current, so it is pretty in pink. Let me see if I have it real quick. Here it is right here. So this ribbon is pretty in pink, and the item number for it is 163784. So I'm glad we have some current ribbon to use. And I'm going to put that on this again. I need my sticky silicone mat back. And I'm going to be better about putting it just on the edge, hopefully. So it's going to hang off just a little, and that's okay. And then let's put this on here. And that's almost straight. Actually, it's pretty straight. I'm going to fold that back. Okay, and now we're going to put this on our card, and that should cover the gap, or at least meet up with the gap of our embossed piece. I love how the embossing folders add so much detail and fanciness, fanciness if that's a word, to your cards, and they don't break the bank either. So here that is. Okay, and then we have that this piece, which has two pieces the same size, and this one I've matted with Pretty in Pink because this was 3.5. I did 3 5/8 by 3 7/8 because that's 375. So that's my mat for that piece. Do you guys all have your kit yet? I hope so. I didn't look, but if there are refills, they usually come out the first Monday after the 20th of the month. So let's say the 20th was a Tuesday. They may not come out till next week, but I think I've seen some of them change that basic rule. All right, so let's put this up with dimensionals. Again, I cut my large dimensionals in half. I find they're plenty big enough. And I spread them all over. They still support the card well. Did we receive minis this time? I just grabbed whatever's in my little bucket. I have this bucket that was from when we had the wood-mounted stamps. And I've used those to organize lots of things, like my spots and my dimensionals, because I converted all of mine to cling mount. And I do have a video on my YouTube channel now. It was long ago. It was one of my first videos. So I'm not sure if it's grand or not, but it doesn't show me. So, but anyway, it's out there. All right, let's center this on this card front. Okay. And then I have a nice surprise for you. So, you know, in July, we had all the cutouts for the stamps, which kind of cuts around the stamped image. Well, I have done that with the Make a Wish, and I have a cutout right here, and I have my stamp positioning tool, which is the Stamparatus. Now, this one is no longer available, but it's my favorite, so I'm going to use it. This would work in the Misty as well. So I set up my negative here, and I have lots of these cutouts, and this will be part of my scan and cut file on my Etsy shop, as well as my SVG file that'll be out there for Cricut users. Now, both of them are out there because I found when I've tried to pull up the SVG with the Brother Canvas Workspace, it doesn't come up true to size. Now it does, the SVG does come out true to size for the Cricut Design Space, but I put the SFCM, I believe, is the extension for the Brother Scan and Cut file. So I put those out separately just so it's easier for you to use. You already get a sneak peek of the ones I've made, the balloons and the candles. Now, the candles are real fussy, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use those that much. You can see here I have the happy birthday in the banner. But let's stamp this Make-A-Wish, and I am going to use Night of Navy. Now the Night of Navy, as you can see, it kind of turns your stamps pink. And if you don't want them hot pink, clean them off pretty immediately. All right, so I keep a damp paper towel here, one because my air and fans are always going here in the summer of Texas, and it helps keep my chamois not as, there we go, that's pretty good. So I just clean it off immediately with a paper towel and then get my chamois. The first swipe with a paper towel just helps me not have to go clean my chamois all the time. And so here's our Make-A-Wish. So I hope you like that. And I'm going to put that right here in the center of this blue space. See if I can get, you know, I've got this paper pumpkin paper that's got this cute little dog in the middle, but he's kind of busy. All right. So there's our Make-A-Wish. Let me get that more in the center. What do you guys think about that? Now, always we can add more bling to the candles. I haven't done that yet. One, I wish they would have included gold rose bling that we could put there with the candles. So there is my second alternative. Do you guys like that cutout for the sentiment? So it kind of makes it interesting. So let me put this one away. How am I doing on time? I'm doing good, I think. I don't know. There it is. Okay, I like to keep these 30 minutes or so, and so these are working great. All right, for the next one, we're going to use that little bitty piece that we cut off the end. And again, remember, save this one because I'm going to use it in my next video. So we're going to use this little one. Now, I was like, what can I do with that? So I cut up the envelopes. So this is the inside of one envelope, and when I show you my finished one, I used a different envelope. But all I did was take the envelope, open it, and how you do that is just, let me get a real envelope out. Okay, so you just want to trim a sliver, and I mean just a sliver. Since this one has white space, you can do more than a sliver, and then this will open up, okay? And then you have this whole pattern inside to work with. And so that's what I did with this pretty and pink inside, and I've trimmed it to 5 1/4 by 4 because that's a good front to a card. But I want to mat that with my pretty and pink cardstock just to give it a little more emphasis, and it'll be a little, gives it a little more layers. Okay. If you don't want to cut up your envelopes, let me show you one thing I've done is back in, I think it was October or September of 2022, it was a Halloween set and it has these stars with it. You could also randomly stamp your candles. Let me get that up close. And I used the coordinating colors, which was, this might be Misty Moonlight actually, and Moody Mauve. In this one, I did the same, plus I added the pale, not pale. I've lost my name for that. Petal Pink. There we go. Petal Pink ink. And then I did the little flame in crushed curry. So you could also make a background for that. I just thought I'd show those options in case you don't want to cut up your envelopes. But I'm okay cutting up my envelopes and just adding my own white. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere these two layers together. Get out my favorite is this multi-purpose glue because it gives me wiggle room to get my stuff centered. And again, the Pretty in Pink is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Let me get a little sip. I'm getting a little frog in my throat again. Okay, hopefully that helped. All right, feel to see which one is on there right. And we can go ahead and adhere this down as well. Now the envelope paper is real thin, so I could kind of see where I'd put glue. So while it's still semi-wet, I want to rub, which helps spread the glue around and shouldn't show the hump. I might have waited too long, but we'll be fine when we glue this on because it's our thick Stampin' Up! Cardstock, which I love. It's my favorite. Well, one, it's easy to match everything up, right? But it's nice quality cardstock. All right, so let's adhere that down on that. I have an extra one in case I messed up. All right, now we're going to use this piece, okay? And how I came up with that, which it's way too small. So we got to cut another one. I did not measure that right from my first one. So let me measure this real quick over here. My finished one, 3.5 by 3 7/8. All right, trimmer to the rescue. Okay, I just went off camera to do that, and I'll cut that out of this video. So anyway, I obviously cut that a whole inch too short, it looks like. So I cut this layer to 3.5 by 3 7/8. And I got the 3 7/8 just because I wanted a small white border around this piece here. But we want to stamp our sentiment. Now I'm going to do my best to stamp it right on this paper. If we mess up, we can put it on a label. It would be easier if you take it, do this before you set up your Stamparatus or your stamp positioning tool. But I want this kind of in the middle. So let me kind of guesstimate where that is, and I hope to get it straight. So once you get that on there, I may have no place to put my magnet except right there, maybe. So let's check that out again. Scoot that over a little bit. If my hair is in the video, I apologize. But I need to get this semi-centered and straight. Okay, I like the positioning. I think that's just not straight. Okay, so let's get our Night of Navy. Let me try to get the whole thing in the camera here. And let's do the Make-A-Wish again. Now you could do any sentiment you wanted. The Time for Cake probably would not fit. You could just do the Happy Birthday. But I like this Make-A-Wish, especially with the candles. So, all right, let's hope that got that good. I'm going to ink it one more time just because some of the K is a little undone. Okay, and it's just white cardstock, so if we mess up, we can always cut a lot more. Okay, so that's a good dark Make-A-Wish. It will lighten up a little bit as it dries. But I like it. I like my sentiments dark. I usually do them in black, but Night in Navy is pretty dark, so I like it as well. Okay, and now we're going to make we're going to use the little balloon stamps. I already have a couple of them stamped, but I wanted to do some with you. Now I stamped, this piece is one in our kit, and I stamped that. I did one better because that one wasn't quite centered. And then I put just a rhinestone in the center of that. Might show better on the white paper. Okay, and then we're going to do our balloons. Now I want to do a couple different colored balloons. Here's one already done in pretty and pink. Let me get my Stamparatus back out. Okay, and these balloons will be part of our cut file. So you can cut blank little balloons here. Oh, and I hope that didn't move. All right, let's see if that's somewhat close. Okay, hopefully that didn't move. I'm going to ink this one in Night of Navy. Yes, Night of Navy. Okay, and then I need a small one. I have all my little cut files here. And again, at the end of this video, I will show you what I've done so far. Let me find my tiny balloon. Okay, good. That did not move, so that's still centered. I guess I need to get some better tape. Let me get my Scotch tape here and put that down. Okay. Now, find a tiny balloon. And the good thing here is it has a little different, I know which way it goes. And let's do Moody Mauve for that. Now, unfortunately, I haven't made a Moody Mauve mini. I probably need to because now I've got to stamp up this little bitty balloon with this full-size pad. Got it on the corner here. That helps. Okay, Moody Mauve. I was glad to finally use that color. I think it's such a pretty color, and I haven't actually used it a lot. Okay, and one small balloon. Clean that. Did I clean that? Now, this staining does not damage your stamps at all. It actually shows you loved them and used them. So, embrace the staining. All right, so let's put this on here. Just on the left-hand side of that white paper that we cut. I'm telling you, I barely finished up, and I still owe everyone a blog post for the July cards that I made. I made 63 with the painted petal set, and I do have the photos, and I put them out on Paper Pumpkin fan page, but I didn't get to my blog post yet. Like I said, it's been a very, very busy week. Okay, we're going to put these balloons here. Where did my little Moody Mauve go? Here it is. Okay, and I'm going to put this candle on this side. Okay, so you just kind of want to line everything up. It's okay if your candles hang off a little bit, and I'm going to do this for you. So all balloons need a little string, right? So I just have a Sharpie fine point pen, and if I want that one there, let's pull it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to lift it up and draw a little balloon string, right? Okay, and then I can glue that one down on its string. Oops. And then I need the little balloon. Oops. Oh, my pen doesn't go out on me. Okay, a little string for that balloon. And then this big blue balloon, or navy balloon. Okay, let's do it a string there. And then we can glue our Make-A-Wish candle that they need to blow out. Okay, and then what I love about this kit is we got all the numbers, right? Well, if you don't have a cut machine, you can stamp the numbers on there. However, I went ahead and made a cut file out of all the numbers. And let me show you one that I cut. So I took the image and I've made this cut file for all the numbers. So I have a whole little sleeve of numbers ready to go. And I do know that my mother-in-law and my father-in-law are turning 80. And as you can see, I worked real hard on these because I even got it to cut the inside. So this will be a part of my cut file. Now I just have to find the right numbers. Now here's one where I lined it up, cut it in white, and stamped it. So you could do that as well. But I thought rather than line all of them up, I'll just have a cut in Night of Navy for each one. Okay, there's a 0. And there is a fat side and a skinny side. I don't know if you can see that. Don't need to put a 9 on there. I should have grabbed these out ahead of time. Here's an 8. Okay, so this is part of my cut file as well. So 8, I don't know what that little nib is. Just smooth it down. Okay, so we're going to put that where we want it. And, you know, we have the and the and the 4th. No, that'd be anyway, we have all the endings to the numbers. You guys can laugh at me for that. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to ink this in Night of Navy. I didn't feel it was worth making a cut file for these little doodads. So we'll just stamp that on there. That's great. And get that shadow away. And we'll glue down the 80th. So I hope you guys are excited about that. But again, you could just stamp it and it would be perfectly fine in Night of Navy. Now this is a little thicker than the actual stamps. I did a overlap onto those so they were a little bigger. Now I have to get out my glue eraser when that dries because I kind of smeared it all over the place. Okay, and then we're going to put this one, I got little glue stuff all over, on dimensionals here. But, you know what, I need to get the glue off before I put it on dimensionals. It makes it harder. Okay, dimensionals. So this is the 3rd, but you could really make 4 because that one you get 2 pieces of. I showed you basically my 1st and 2nd. Let's keep this, let's make sure this doesn't collapse on us. About to have to cut more rows. I thought I cut enough. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my cut files aren't out yet. They may be by the time you watch this. Today is Thursday, August 22nd. So I hope to get them out. If not tomorrow, then by Saturday. I just like to cut them and make sure they are right. All right, and let's put that down there. Okay, now here's the one I did with the Moody Mauve envelope, so you can see the difference there. Oh, I forgot something. I was going to use that string. Let me see if I can get this off real quick. If you work quickly, you can get it off. And if it stays on there, that's okay. I've got a trick for making them re-stick. It's not that much of a trick. Okay, so we got this pretty ribbon in the kit, and I hadn't used it yet. And I was going to put this ribbon right along here. Now you can use tear and tape Let me get out some tear and tape. Scotch tape. You could use a glue dot. I'm going to use tear and tape on this one. Okay. You don't even have to peel off the backing. Okay, just put it on there somewhere. Whoops. Get off my other piece. I thought I wasn't going to make a mistake. So I've had miscut paper and now I forgot the ribbon. So, like I said, I keep my videos real so that you know, hey, I made a mistake and I just turned my camera, didn't I? Okay. You can say, so does Robin. But there are no mistakes in card making. Just another alternative idea is what I say. Okay, put that there. Now, if you're afraid you didn't get enough, you pulled some of the sticky off, I just go and put a little dot of my multi-purpose Tombow liquid glue. There's one I didn't even take the backing off. So it's sticky. And this one that stayed needs a little dot. Okay, so there's a fix for that. Kind little, you got a free tip there on this one. Okay. So there we go. More with the ribbon. That's why I always have one done, or try to have one done, so that if I mess up, I can do, oh no, I need to add that. So that one's got glue too. Okay, so here is my third alternative. And like I said, we still have one card that we're going to do with my next set of videos, this little piece right here that we cut. Okay, so hang on to that. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but if you're done watching the alternative, let me show you the cut file images that I have so far. And by the way, I forgot to thank those of you that have subscribed to my channel. We are close to the goal of 3,600. I need like 40 more of you guys to hit the subscribe button. So if you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscription. And let me get to the cut file. So you already saw the numbers. I kind of have that cut. I missed this edge, so I didn't quite get those. Where's my other images? I also have a fork, the big balloons. So now these are in white. You could obviously stick like designer series paper or stamp on these to get pretty more big balloons. Here's the medium balloons. Now here is a candle. That one was real fussy. I did make them first with a border, and then I decided, you know what, I don't like them with a border. You've already seen the small balloons that match our stamps. You've seen the banner. You've seen the Make-A-Wish. And made just today, I made this one for, get it up. It's time for cake. So cut out like the last month's label. Let me put it on, well, not the sticky silicone mat. Let's put it on my Stampin' Pierce mat. Is it focusing? Not really. Okay, so anyway, it's time for cake. Now I obviously needed to pull that down a little bit because my eye is right on the edge, but I can still say it's time for cake. I just didn't line that one up. I was doing that real quick before I made this video. Let's see, did I miss any of the images? I think that pretty much covers it. All the balloons, this label, this, the fork, oh, the little candle if you wanted more of those. And it's time for cake. So I do have one more on there, but that's part of my second set of alternatives that I will share in my next video. So let me switch back to me so I don't forget that. Okay, there I am. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this has given you some creativity to expand your paper pumpkin kit. And again, the best compliment you can give me is a thumbs up to this video. Share this video with your other paper crafting friends. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's an easy button at the end of this video that'll help you do that, as well as a link to my online store, Stampin' Up! Store. And to find my Etsy shop, it's in the description box of this video. Also, if you go to my title page, there's a links button and click on that, and I think there's a link to my blog, my Etsy shop, as well as my online Stampin' Up! Store. So, thanks for joining me, everyone. Have a paper crafting kind of day. Bye-bye.